The German invasion of France is underway as the 7th Panzer Division is rushing further and further into France. British and French forces are desperately trying to set up defenses. However, German bombers are keeping them on the run. Hello again, friends and fans. Raptor here, and welcome back to Men of War Assault Squad 2. The Battle of Dosen't begins now as German forces are bombing the city and arriving very shortly with General Erwin Rommel himself being present on the battlefield. If you'd like to see more of this, make sure you go ahead and click or tap and explode that like button to let me know you'd like to see more of this, and check down below in the description if you'd like to download this mod as well. This mod is an updated mod from a very older mod, I should say. The version is more updated.
Advancing into enemy positions. We are counting on you.
Alright, so General Erwin Rommel must survive here, and as I was mentioning, this is an updated mod from a mod that existed many years ago and has now been updated for the current version. However, there are still some bugs to it, so we'll have to stay cautious to see where our troops spawn to make sure something doesn't spawn on top of a cliff or such. But regardless, we have some of the most elite units available in May of 1940 against the Allied defenders. So we're going to rush up there to the brick walls and or concrete walls or whatever happens to be around for cover and see if we can start taking enemy positions. We have ourselves a Panzer 38T that'll provide support against enemy units, and we'll go ahead and start providing cover fire on the left side too for our advancing units up the road. The French and British are working together here, so we do need to be on the lookout for things such as the 25mm anti-tank gun, and for some reason our troops, as I mentioned, are spawning up here, which is fine by me. We'll go ahead and consider them to be paratroopers perhaps behind enemy lines for whatever reason, and we just decrewed an enemy vehicle. And again, French and British units are here. The French having some really nice anti-infantry units of all sorts of different variants, and the British having good tanks in general. Seems to be some sort of a mortar firing around here too, and I just don't know how our troops got in here. I spawned, it must be some sort of a scripting error, but regardless, we'll just consider it to be a part of the mission. Alright, let's go ahead and get our troops then to defend the road, and we'll continue to push up. Fog of War is on, so we'll have to find troops as we advance slowly. But if we're going to advance, it's going to have to be from cover to cover. Looks like one of our tanks here has been damaged by something. Oh, there seems to be an AT gun there. Well, imagine that. Alright, well, it looks like, unfortunately, our main gun is damaged, and our tank is tracked, so it's basically a sitting duck. So let's go ahead and continue to advance then. Perhaps we can open up fire on that British unit there, or a French AT gun, whomever it is. I didn't have a second to look, as the battle is now heating up. This may be a multi-part series, so again, make sure you check the playlist too to see a full playthrough of this mission if we do not yet complete it here today. Though I know it is quite an expansive mission where we will eventually advance into the city that you saw at the very start. Wow, with one shot, the AT gun being disabled, we can actually capture that and use that against enemy forces, and it seems like our machine gun team now has a little breather. Let's go ahead and advance then up to the road, and let's go ahead and walk our troops in with the recon forces providing cover up the main road towards the bridge that should be in front of us. Our task today is to capture the fortress on the left, as you saw earlier over here, and then also the village down here on the right side so our troops can pass through. We'll provide a lot of cover fire here, and actually the Panzer I will be an excellent tool in the village there to advance further. Some of our crewmen inside that tank have died as they were taking fire from the AT gun, but luckily they were firing at the AT gun, or rather the tank with the AT gun, rather than any of our lighter units such as the half-tracks, which are extremely useful here because we need all the machine guns we can get. If we're going to get up there any further, we'll need to fight through the French defenders and British defenders who are holding positions here. French on the Maxim machine gun, and it looks like they're in a fairly decent defensive position. We'll have to make sure we get up there and... whoa, something exploding down there. Some sort of a tractor or vehicle there being lit up by fire being exchanged between Allied forces, expeditionary and whatnot. Alright, let's get our machine gun up here. See if we can unload on their machine gun. Alright, our MG's now in position. Any defenders that try to come down the road, we're going to go ahead and unload on. Perfect. And it looks like the French are actually retreating. Oh, they're retreating into the fortress. Fantastic. Alright, French troops here are going to take the, well, smart. They're actually going to a more defensive position. I don't blame them. Enemy tank coming in out of nowhere. What the heck? Alright, well, I guess that's fair. Got to defend Rommel. I don't know why our tank has been damaged. Let's go ahead and get that vehicle running. There we go. Oh, damn. We're putting, wow, that's no fair. We're putting a lot of rounds into that tank. I thought it would have been destroyed by now. Apparently it's still fighting. If we're not careful, this vehicle is going to take us out. We need to get an AT grenade on that right away. Incredible. The AMR-35. Damn. Huge explosion. Damaging a half-track there, which we can repair in a tank, too. Let's go ahead and get a tank crew up, get some repairs done, and get ourselves squared away. Alright, well, we'll have to keep in mind then that the French and British have the ability to attack us from the flanks. I didn't anticipate that. Unfortunately, we don't have a mortar at this moment, which would be absolutely super valuable. Just because we have a fortress in front of us. I think I'm a little nervous now. I want to hold still until we've got some of our vehicles up and running. And we'll see if we can get some of these vehicles repaired and or operational again. Unfortunately, this tank being knocked out completely. Very unfortunate. By some sort of a flanking rush attack from the enemy. Alright, I think we have limited forces here too. I think we have unlimited our points will continue to come in, I think, as we capture objectives, but the vehicles that we get will be dependent solely by a count that's behind the lines. Alright, well, we'll bring up reinforcements. I guess there was no way for me to anticipate that. Let's see here. Vehicle being repaired. Looks like we'll need another crewman. We'll get this fully staffed and get a soldier there repairing. Alright, we'll have our 2 tanks advance through the fields for obvious reasons. Actually, we could take the high ground from up here and fire down on any defenders in the city, and it might be a good opportunity to flank through. Let's go ahead and continue to get infantry here. I think it was a good call to call up multiple half-tracks and such to carry our troops in. Now we have to take the fortress. So it looks like French forces have been pushed all the way back. Looks like, oh, unfortunately I lost 2 of these guys here. The French retreated and fired at us from the wall, so I wasn't able to see them. Alright, luckily now as our forces advance, we'll be able to have line of sight, and our half-tracks and armored cars and whatever else can unload on them. Let's bring up the armored car up here, and we'll have our tanks and whatnot just unload on the defenders inside. We've pretty much got them trapped now. If they retreat, great. If they try to push forward or peek out from either corner, we got them locked down. So that's pretty good. Let's go ahead and continue the advance with the soldiers. And it looks like a full squad is here. And we'll go ahead and advance this way now. Looks like the AT gun, for whatever reason, is rearmed again. Wow, this is getting really obnoxious now. It's interesting to see the AI actually competent at rearming a position like that. We're going to actually play a little smart here. I'm going to abandon the tank just so we can reuse it. Let's see if we can get an HE shell on that. There we go. Decrewed yet again. And hopefully that grenade knocks out anyone else nearby. Okay, the gun has been completely destroyed. That's good. We could have captured it, but destroying it is just as fine. As we're advancing into a city, it's going to be more difficult to use armor and especially AT guns inside a city. Alright, let's continue to advance with our troops. We'll get our boys up here. Let's get the machine gun to watch the left flank as our infantry advances. Is there a way for us to jump? Oh, he's going to go that way. Okay, that's fine. Alright, we'll keep the armored car here. Alright, little by little we'll advance. Where the hell's Rommel? Oh, there's actually a sniper inside here. Oh, they put a sniper on top of the MG. That's interesting. And I believe here's Rommel right here. All right, guys, we need to see a bunch of Circle 7 salutes down there in the comment section for our commanding officer here. Let's go ahead and salute him. And is he going to be driving? All right, Rommel's driving, and then we got a homeboy on the MG34, so that's great. Now, again, remember, this is the early days of the war, so we're not going to see such technological beasts as the type. Oh, I hear an enemy tank approaching. That's why I stopped. Alright, this is going to be great again. So maybe we do need that AT gun. So the French are going to constantly be able to attack us from the flank. Good thing I heard that. And look at this vehicle. Are you kidding me? Is this vehicle... We should be getting good penetration on these vehicles. And just nothing. Alright, we're going to have to keep call out some more infantry. We're going to need to keep a standby unit to deal with them. Actually, do we have, let me quickly see here. Thank God, we have bundle grenades here. Alright, so the only way we seemingly can deal with those vehicles incoming, boom, knocked the block right off. There's no way to repair that damn thing. Alright, well, we're going to have a unit on standby then to deal with him whenever he comes in, that tank. Fully staffed tanks again. And for a second time, the French have knocked us out. Alright, that's okay. We'll get that tank up and running. We have made progress here. The AT gun is down, and we've made progress going up the road. The advance is secure. So let's go ahead and get our forces ready to advance to the wall. Alright, looks like another squad is here. I think we're going to send 2 squads up to the fortress, and we'll close in and creep up on the positions in the village. We'll go left then. We got vehicles covering everywhere. This is good. If we get a whole group to advance like that, all of the French and British troops there will shoot at us, and then eventually we'll spot them. What the... Wow, 25mm, apparently an autocannon. Panzer 1 unfortunately destroyed there. Not too bad. Luckily it wasn't a 38. Let's get behind that weapon. And of course, positions like this is where we'll take our most losses, but once we're inside the city, it'll come down to our infantry, which is far more elite. Wow, that weapon firing just like instantaneously, just faster than any autocannon I've seen. Speaking of autocannon, looks like our own is firing down there. Seems like they're still trying to destroy that vehicle, though it has been knocked out. Friendly tank here. We'll see if we can get behind him. Let's get our friendly troops here. Looks like the French and British, whomever may be in the mix, are trying to sneak around. 25mm here might have the ability to turn and burn quite quickly, yes. Since we're not dealing with Rob's realism, anti-tank guns can turn pretty much immediately. Wow. And can instack one and done. Which is really unfortunate that an AT gun can, wow. Not only do they turn instantaneously, but it has an extremely high rate of fire. So that's really not something anything we can anticipate. We'll get some more tanks up before we advance. Sometimes it's best to take out AT guns with tanks because there's just nothing that can stop them. For example, if you advance with infantry, they'll just switch to HE and just pin you down like a machine gun, which these AT guns here might actually do. Let's try to come up behind him with the tank crew. One of the most deadliest units in the game is tank crew. Let's see what we can do to pop some fools. So they were all smart before. When it came time to firing at our tank, it was instant accuracy and instantaneous turn and burn. But now they're running. Hell yeah. And what did I say about tank crew? There you go. Nice job, boys. Hard to shoot a handgun at that range. But alright, well, a tank crew has cleared the village. Fantastic. I guess it worked pretty well. Unfortunately, our boys didn't shoot here. They should have had good range on clearing that village out. Alright, well, the village is clear at the expense of, I guess, one tank that I shouldn't have lost over here to the AT gun down there. But, again, instant turn and burn and French flanking instantaneously from the other side. However, we still have two tanks, and we're going to build up now our forces before we push into the town. Not too bad. Let's get some grenades up. And I think the French might actually have a mortar inside here. And they did lock the gates behind them. We'll need to continue our advance. Oh, there we are. Fantastic. Alright, well, now that we've dealt with a lot of the zanier messes of instant accuracy on... Are they coming again? Hold on. I think they are. If we could get some sort of an AT rifle, that'd be awesome. Another unit spawning in a completely different position. An incredible biased armor on this thing. These vehicles constantly get hit, and the only way it seems to take them down is literally with a point-blank AT weapon such as bundled grenades. Multiple 37mm weapons just can't break them. I hear another one coming. Alright, we better take this position quickly. The French are not going to make this easy. Alright, we'll need to capture the entrance to the town here. We can already see some Allied barricades there for the expeditionary forces that are there. And the Germans... Okay. I think this guy's throwing up some gang signs or something. Hold on a second. That guy might have been on a weapon that possibly didn't load correctly. I'm not sure. Alright, we're going to go ahead and advance to the front gate. Taking this fortress is, oh boy, this vehicle's going to have a hell of a time getting up here. Capturing the fortress is going to be rather easy now that we have armored support here, so long as the enemy doesn't have any sort of AT inside. And anything that they leave behind, any vehicles or whatnot, we might be able to capture. We don't know if there's anything else in there, so let's take a quick peek. Have one of our soldiers just look around the corner. Oh, mortar. Alright. Let's quickly run across just to see what else might be in there. Since we're not seeing any AT and just mortar, let's go ahead and unload. Hit that position. Armor piercing is fantastic for this, as it can just kill the crewmen on top of it. And we do need to stay back. Oh, wonderful. Looks like, wow, look at that. Cool, French officer right there. Awesome. Oh, and they're surrendering.
Your troops are now tasked with advancing into enemy positions.
Excellent.
We are counting on you.
Hands up and guns down. The garrison of the ancient fortress is surrendering. Fantastic. All right, we somehow have a infiltration force down here. I think this is where the forces... I don't know if we're supposed to get this or if the game, if the intro glitched or whatnot, but we now have a couple of soldiers behind enemy lines. Let me go ahead and see if we can save these guys, because knowing what's behind enemy lines is really just valuable. I think these guys are glitched out. I don't know if we can... Alright, well, the mod makers will have to do a little bit in tightening things up a little bit, but nothing I can do for these guys. Maybe they can go across the other side? There we go. Alright, we'll have these guys swim across. So let's just say these are early war saboteurs who have some very advanced technology of scuba gear, apparently. Say hi to Scuba Gunther. Okay. Alright, I have no idea what's going on. Alright, regardless, still a pretty solid mission. I mean, I'm not going to dock it for that, because that's plenty of problems in Men of War already. Alright, so we did lose a tank here, and a tank here. And other than that, we have all the tanks out that we can get, and additional armored cars, so we need to be very cautious about what we lose. So the armored car really played an important role up here. So let's go ahead and have this thing... oh, I wonder if there's any vehicles we can grab. There is an auto cannon up here somewhere. Oh, the AT gun. Or wait, what is it? Oh, the machine gun. Alright, those I think are going to be worthless to us. So let's go ahead and have the troops come on down. We've already... We'll have the... I don't know who would take care of the troops here, the captured prisoners. The rear echelon, or maybe intelligence, to find out what else the French may have in front of us for interrogation. Alright, let's get some additional troops up here. I think what we want now is just regular infantry. Vehicles that... yeah, any sort of vehicle at this point is just going to be a nightmare. I really would wish we had the Panzer 1 here. But again, that could be instant act, one and done. Alright, we're going to creep up here and see if we can open up a door over here. That looks like a very valuable place to take, because we can already see where the enemy's probably got defenses. AT gun, machine gun. However, over here, they might not have so much. So let's get our infantry ready over here on the right side. And we'll kind of creep up there. I wish they could... Can't they go between the... Oh, there's a fence there. Alright, I got an idea. We'll just throw a grenade there. Alright, I don't know if French... I think French units are done coming in from the flank because we've completed our initial objective. But I'm going to still kind of hold in a defensive posture until the tanks are needed. And actually, speaking of which... Oh, yes, there is a French tank, the Hotchkiss H-39, waiting on the other side of the bridge. Fantastic. Okay, let's see. We'll just stay put here until the infantry have cleared the way ahead. We're going to do a little scouting now with the infantry just to see what is in front of us. Hopefully it's just light weapons. The infantry has a good chance of taking that out themselves. Infantry have come down from the mountaintops as well. So very good. We'll go ahead and get the rest of our infantry into town just to get them into cover for whatever might come our way. Okay, tank crew. This is the best recon money can buy, I think. But let's go ahead and set these tank crew on that... Actually, where's that AT gun? Yes, this will be perfect. I think this is a bigger... No, it's 25mm. Okay. Well, let's get them on the gun. And, boy, that thing. How many rounds does it have? Yeah, 250 rounds as well. Wow. That thing could have fired all day. Luckily, it didn't have HE, so we were lucky about that. Now we know that for the future. There seems to be another weapon here. Oh, it's a mortar. Oh, there we go. That's our first mortar. Fantastic. This actually might be a good idea to call an additional tank crew just to use enemy equipment. Mortars are going to be extremely valuable. And I think there may have been another one at the... yes, there's another one at the fortress. Alright, so before we get all the way into the base and start... rather, the town and getting our hands dirty, let's go ahead and call up some tank units and acquisition from the British and French, what they just left behind. Let's go ahead and throw up the AT. There we go, that blows a nice hole in the fence, which allows infantry to move through. Okay, so before we go in then, now that we know this is an opportunity, target of opportunity, or I guess just a good business plan, we can grab some of these weapons. So it looks like the French may have more than just the mortar there. Let's see, there's a mortar here. Seems to be something here. I can't quite tell what it is. It looks to be a weapon that was glitched out. Good. That means we don't have to deal with it, so that was one easier problem for us. And then another machine gun here, which I don't want to use. Even if we occupy this position up here, I don't think we could see what's down there, or we'll probably just be immediately attacked by French forces. So let's go ahead and just keep on rolling then. Luckily, Rommel hasn't died due to a tank coming up from the flank, but luckily taking that position quickly has really saved us a lot of time. Minimal loss of infantry, if any. Let's go ahead and look for a couple of yellow bodies. Two there. And, oh, and apparently a couple that came up here through the initial weirdness of the beginning of the campaign. Hopefully our soldiers came up from the back. Perhaps they killed someone in the back on a weapon of some sort. I don't know. All right, let's get our mortar ready then. We'll get that turned around. Where's our tank crew now? Ah, there we are. Seems that they're moving at the speed of Mosey. They're not really going too fast. And I do need to get our troops resupplied, though I don't know how to do that at the moment. We don't have the ability to call anything in. And I didn't see any supply vehicles at the start. Alright, we do have our half-track here that we can still use. I'm going to just keep this guy on the ground just in case. We'll keep Rommel defended with a couple of half-tracks there and our sniper. Okay, well, let's prepare to move in then. Get troops up here on the road. Mortar seems to be ready, so let's go ahead and spot some targets for that. We'll bring both of our mortars down. It's probably a good idea to keep them together. And the French up here have surrendered, so it's okay for us to just kind of walk in. And how many rounds do we have? Oh, wow, like 120 rounds. Fantastic. And I think we might be able to come up here for more. Alright, let's get the other mortar down here. Hopefully the AI... Oh, boy. Alright, let's do it. We'll have to hold hands then. We'll do it kind of in phases. And let's see if we can get this vehicle down here. Dear God. Alright, Man of War strikes again with the AI having a little difficulty. Is this actually... we may as well grab this. We might have to defend at some point. And I wonder if we can grab that vehicle. Seems to be toast. Interesting, it's kind of like an armored personnel carrier with a... Oh, is that actually a Bren machine gun on the back? I'm actually curious to know what that is. That is a Bren, it is. Alright. Actually, it's going to be really valuable to grab that. Oh, and actually machine gun rounds. Fantastic. Actually, this guy's probably not going to go in for any sort of AT kills. Let's give him a couple grenades, but... giving a machine gunner a ton of ammo is a blessing. Alright, let's get the armored car down. Alright, so since we have to kind of babysit everyone, the AI pathing is not so good in the game. We'll just kind of... Is this machine gunner too? Seems to be. We'll have to just go over to captured vehicles and... Oh, actually, right here, machine gun. We'll just steal from the British. So in Rob's Realism, mod for Man of War Assault Squad 2, all ammunition types of World War II, for example, there's a difference between... an American 30 cal machine gun and, for example, an MG42. So the differences in this game are immense because they simplify it by just saying machine gun ammo is just simply machine gun ammo, and so thus, as we did there, a you know, like a British MG from World War II is the same ammunition as a German. All right, so let's go. All right, so I think we'll roll into town now. And we'll, trying to control here. There we go. We'll drop the gun here, and we'll leave it for a little bit later. And we don't want to go up too far with the any sort of anti-tank gun or any sort of. Whoa! They're just busting through the wall. Armored cars and AT guns are going to have to stay back. And let's get our other mortar up here. Mortar number 1 is ready to fire. Mortar number 2. Operation Handhold continues. Okay, machine gun is ready. I'd prefer to have all the troops down here. I really think we could engage them from up here. You know, troops should be able to fire down in the city, but ranges are very minimal, so we'll just have to be cautious. Alright, our troops are going to advance then to the right side of the house. I'm going to bring up a tank to support them. It's a good opportunity to bring up a vehicle. So far, so good. Not encountering any sort of hidden British defenses. No sort of machine gun or infantry ambush, just kind of watching here. And I'm just kind of waiting to see if anything happens. No movement from the enemy. Good news so far. Friendly infantry is advancing. They've got medics, of course, in their squads.
Erstaunlich.
Okay, well, wow, we made it all the way up here, not spotting anything on this right flank. Very good. All right, our troops have been not detected. Shh, quiet. Oh, never mind. All right, hold on. I spoke too soon, but AT grenade ready. Hell yeah, unload on that thing, boys. Okay, all right, looks like our boys got it. Well, that was lucky. One of our boys being wounded, and that could be an enemy mortar firing at us. Let's get a friendly mortar up here. Oh boy, this is going to be bad. The enemy mortar is going to fire at us continuously until we silence it. No, 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 no. I was hoping the boys... Oh, it didn't break the wall. Okay. Let's go back. We do need to get our men in cover, or at least away from the position. Luckily, our tank didn't have to do battle with that, so keeping it back was good. Enemy mortar, possibly over there. And we're still taking hits from the mortar. All right, our own mortars need to be in position to engage. I'm going to bring these up a little bit. And now the fun really begins. It doesn't look like they've got any defenses up to here, and then they might have some range up to there, so we're okay to advance on the right side. I see the mortar over there. All right, how's our range? Ooh. Germans are taking some hits. Get down, boys. Let's get our mortar ready to deal with that. That's going to be a damn nightmare. They're very accurate, and they're very painful. Timestamp that. It's a lesson in life, kids. Alright, it seems that our weapon's not within range. Maybe targeting now. It's not actually giving me any sort of indicator of how far the target is. I know there's a limited range on the mortar, but I'm not seeing any sort of range or anything pop up here, making it difficult then to, obviously, if I can't fire, then I can't support our troops here. I'm a little nervous in bringing up mortars so close because we're seeing enemy vehicles that seem to be acting of their own accord, where they'll counterattack if they spot infantry. And that's going to be bad. It's very difficult for us to stop enemy tanks. Okay, let's see. Lots of thick forest here, too. The Germans coming out of the Ardennes, of course, in the initial campaign. I'm trying 2 different targeting methods to see if I can get them to fire, but they just doesn't seem to want to actually fire. They're on open fire. Oh god, I hear an enemy vehicle. Are our troops not able to actually fire these weapons? There should be nothing stopping our troops from firing back. It's very unfortunate. This is a very nice way to clear this city. Firing mortars on the occupiers with their AT guns and such. We seem to keep getting hit, so I'm just going to move over here then. Okay, so now we have to redo our plan again. Luckily we have the mortars, so the enemy won't be able to use them. Let's run over this direction. And here comes the mortars again. Damn. Seems like our mortar crew is just not wanting to engage. They have ammunition, and that's really going to be the only way to counter that mortar. And there's no way for me to manually control it either. Alright, so that mortar idea is not going to work. It's as if they didn't exist now. Oh god. And there's just debris falling down all over us. Let's get the tank up here. We need some cover. Could be an AT gun around there, so I just want to bring it up close enough to engage the troops on the other side. Mortar is going to be the thing that causes the most amount of damage and destruction here. Literally, it's taking down houses and stuff now. Okay. And I guess we'll bring up the half-tracks now to support. And we'll keep the tanks in reserve if we lose units. AT gun there is knocked out. Actually, that vehicle might be salvageable. I think we already did a check on that and found out that was a no. Lots of machine gun there that I saw. Not the best thing in the world. Would prefer those mortars work, but now I'm not going to bring up anything else of the enemies if it doesn't work. Alright, mortars here are an absolute nightmare. They're going to continue to knock our troops down, and it's actually over there, so it's going to be a pain to get there. So the battle for the city will continue in our next episode. If you like this episode, make sure you go ahead and click or tap that like button and subscribe here for more. We're going to wrap it up here, and we're going to enter the city, capture this side of the bridge. We're then going to continue on, and this map is going to get much bigger than just this. It is far from over. So I'll see you all next time. Thanks for your support. Goodbye.